And we're recording, hopefully.
The fourth.
The fourth, yeah. Hello everyone, this is HackCast number 4004, and we're here in our newly improvised studio.
The HackCast studio.
The HackCast studio, which you should really take a look around. I guess we're going to post some pictures. It's improvised.
Yep.
It's a hack. So, say hi.
Hey everyone.
Hey there.
It's us again.
Yeah, it's us again. So, number 4, we're going to answer questions from number 3. So we did this game where we're giving away 50 tickets for the upcoming HackConf, which is, in about 2 weeks, something.
Yep.
Yeah, less than 2 weeks.
10 days left, yeah.
All right, 10 days left. And we had this game where you had to like our Facebook page, watch the first 3 episodes, and ask an adequate and relevant question. And then you're going to get a free ticket for HackConf. So it was pretty nice because we got some questions. I was expecting like 2 questions from my mother and 1 question from somewhere here from the office.
Not my mother.
Yeah, from your mother, for example. But we got actually something like 10 or no, 18 questions, which we're going to answer right now. So I'm going to read the questions from my almost working and from my phone. Tony is going to be with us for the first few questions, then she's going to leave because it's getting late, and me and Ivo, we're going to finish this no matter how long it's going to take. So, anything to add?
Nope, let's get to the questions.
Let's get to it. All right. So I'm reading the questions as they have been commented and written. So pardon my English or pardon someone else's English. First question is coming from Dimitar Atanasov. Do you have stories of people or companies that have been positively influenced by a HackConf event? For example, maybe for someone visiting HackConf was just enough motivation for starting his or her IT career.
Okay. Who is going to answer this?
This is really good question. I think unfortunately we haven't that statistics, but
Yeah, we don't have the stories, but this question made us think, why don't we have those stories?
Yeah.
The first year was kind of open for students because the conference was free, entirely free.
Yeah.
And we were working with a lot of schools, so we got a lot of students in the conference.
Yeah.
Most of them maybe didn't really get into the IT yet.
Yeah.
So maybe some of them are now IT professionals. Maybe they're working in the IT sector.
They should be.
Yeah, but we don't know exact people that got influenced by the conference and decided to run into the IT.
We should ask our interns. 3 new interns started in HackConf this week. We should ask them if they have been to the first HackConf.
Mm-hmm.
And if the answer is yes, I guess we can make those kind of stories because it's just like that. Coming to HackConf, getting motivated, it was almost purely motivational conference. So good question. We don't have the stories, but we believe that the first HackConf did its purpose by motivating those thousands of young people that were there. Good. First question down. Second question. It's coming from Ivan Nikov. What are the benefits of participating in / organizing international events? What experience did you gain, and did you make any relations with people from other countries? Question mark. Tom?
Okay, this for me.
I guess.
Yeah. First of all, I think if you're organizing or if you're participating in any event, maybe the most important things are networking, or for me is networking. I communicate with the speakers, with sponsors, with attendees, a lot of people, and this is really important and useful for me. Regardless, the networking I think is the feeling good factors, because we are doing something for the community and you are feeling good really. And yeah, when you're organizing an event, meetup or conference or whatever.
So you grow your network a lot, which
Yeah.
can be helpful in a whole lot of other ways, I guess. So yeah, organizing events is really helpful in acquiring whatever skills you can imagine. Organizational skills, sales skills, communication skills, so on and so forth. So, yeah.
Patching skills, fixing last possible moment things, skills.
Yeah, spotting things that are going to fail the conference and
Yeah.
fixing them before they fail the conference.
Yeah, this is important.
So yeah, do you feel good having organized the last 4?
4 years. I
Not
think
yet,
yes.
the last 3.
The last 3?
The
And
last
This is number 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
I should write this down somewhere.
I think yes.
It's good. It's actually a pretty good experience. So, next question. Let's see. Have I scrolled too much? No. Next question is coming from Mariela Ivanova. Are you going to search for new interns on the events, and does it aim to motivate young people to continue developing in that sphere? I think the question is, are we going to expand our marketing team, which does the event organization, HackConf, the meetups, a whole lot of stuff around our courses, around the conference that we have not yet announced
Yep.
that we're going to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows except everyone here and perhaps Genata. Hi Gena. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to actually expand our marketing team, and internship is actually pretty good because you have the chance to organize the second, if not the first, largest conference in Bulgaria.
Yep.
Conference,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
second.
a pretty big deal, yeah. So yeah, I think we're going to announce this right after HackConf, and we'll be more than happy to work with young and motivated people who want to develop their skills and actually do kick-ass conference. Because
And
it's
a lot of
what we
other
do.
things.
Yeah, and a lot of other things, because the team right here that you see, if we can do it, then a lot of our people can do it. All right, I'm looking for more HackConf questions. Scroll. All right. So, almost there. Yep. So, do you plan to get more speakers from around the world to speak at HackConf? This is a question asked from Anna Maria Mikhailova.
Okay, so I don't think we actually separate people by Bulgarians and non-Bulgarians.
Mhm.
So we're actually looking to get more speakers to participate in the conference. And if the conference is international, if everything is in English and we manage to bring more international people to the conference, that means more.
Yeah, people outside from Bulgaria.
Yeah, and better lectures because we're going to have more opportunities to choose from better
Yep.
lectures.
Yep.
So yeah, when
Uh,
we are choosing lectures, we don't actually choose non-Bulgarians. We're
Yep.
choosing
Yep.
good lectures. So more lectures mean
Mhm.
better.
Oh,
quality.
for this year, one of the ideas was to be in English, so we were actively looking for people from outside of Bulgaria to apply,
Mhm.
but then we were not like getting only speakers from outside of Bulgaria, but actually filtering and comparing lectures from outside of Bulgaria to
Yeah.
most of the call for speakers came from Bulgaria, which is normal. But yeah, going into full English conference, then this means we're going to have more speakers from around the world.
Mhm.
Yeah, and what are you doing for the speakers, Tony?
What are you doing?
Let's brag.
We love that.
With the speakers that are coming from outside of Bulgaria.
Mhm.
We cover their travel costs and accommodation here.
Yeah.
Our team is really kind with them. I mean,
Yeah.
our team goes to the airport and get them from there, and we love them and all the speakers.
Yeah, it's a good experience
Yeah.
speaking at HackConf because we cover the costs. There's some pretty nice food here in
Yep.
Sofia. We do speakers dinner at some of the good restaurants here in Sofia, and people are generally happy. And the energy that you feel from the audience, I think it's good.
Yeah.
People are interested in asking questions after this and communicating with our foreign speakers. So pretty good.
Absolutely.
Pretty good. All right. We're moving pretty quick, which is good. So next question, HackConf related. It's coming from Stefan Volkov. Actually, we're going to edit the questions for it. So.
Maybe if I manage to reverse engineer how the software is working.
Yeah, we are going to try to have bubbles with questions taken from Facebook. So, Stefan Volkov, do you plan HackConf to be twice a year, as it is the best conference for me in Bulgaria right now? Question mark.
Mm-hmm.
First, thank you. If this is honest, thank you. It means a lot to us.
Yep.
Yeah. Being the best conference in Bulgaria right now. Oh, twice a year is going to be really hard, I think.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
organizing.
Yeah.
I dream to organize the second event maybe in Plovdiv or Varna or Burgas, but it's really hard.
Which is an interesting idea for next year.
Maybe.
We
Why
can
not?
do HackConf in Plovdiv.
Yeah, next year Plovdiv will be the capital of the culture, 2019.
Oh, this,
So
yeah.
I think
Right.
will be great.
It's an interesting idea, yeah.
Mhm.
All right, yeah.
But doing it 2 times a year is maybe an overkill.
Yeah, twice a year is going to, I don't know, it's going to be hard for us, and perhaps the entire energy that's gathering for the entire year and then going to HackConf and participating, it's going to be cut in half.
Yeah.
So, actually, no. We were running hackathons twice a year, and
Mhm.
it felt like it's too much. So once a year, you have the chance to appreciate it much more than twice a year, because otherwise people are going to say, I'm going to skip the first one because I'm
Yeah.
going to go to
Yeah.
the second, or I'm not going to go to the second because I was already the first one.
Mm.
So thanks for the question. Actually, no. But next year, perhaps we can think of something else outside of Sofia.
Why not?
Would be great.
Yeah, it would be very interesting. All right, scrolling around and looking for HackConf questions. Next question, it's coming from Clementina Savova, which actually wrote us on the Facebook page inbox, which looks like Messenger, but it's not Messenger, and it's very confusing. This is on your Facebook page, yeah. So the question is in Bulgarian. So she has 2 questions. One is for HackConf, one is for for other stuff. So I'm going to ask the HackConf, and after this the other stuff.
Okay.
So what was the main idea behind HackConf? How?
Live translation, Rado.
Yeah, I'm trying hard. This is not the actual semantics of the question. So how HackConf was born? Let me do the literal one.
In
You
the last episode
Give the
with
board
the
of HackConf.
Yeah, this is
that-
easy. Just watch episode 3 and we answered this question and covered it in detail. So
Yeah.
we're not going to repeat ourselves.
Long story short, Rado bring the idea, let's make a conf. The other day we were already having a domain.
Yep.
And yeah, that's how it all starts.
It was a quick decision.
Yeah.
Let's make a conference, and we did a conference. 4 years later, we're still doing it.
Yep.
All right, then let's see. Do we have more HackConf related questions, which are not 3 paragraphs long? All right, let's. This will be our segue question to the other. To the other questions that are more HackConf related, and Tony can safely go and have a dinner at her place.
Okay, guys.
Because it's getting late. So, Dmitry Kirov, connecting the topics of internship and HackConf, can you talk about the importance of going to an event like HackConf for a person who is just getting into IT and may be looking for an internship even for a junior? Because I think that many people don't realize how beneficial it is for growing. Also, as far as my experience goes, developers aren't usually the most social and outgoing people, and going to an event like HackConf might be scary. Could you give like a checklist of things to do when going to an event like HackConf so that people can get the most out of it and not just wander around and miss the fun? Question mark. Thank you. Period. Thank you, Dimitar. It's a really nice question.
And big question. It's a
Yeah.
big question.
It's a
Yeah.
big question. So to recap, is it beneficial for someone who considers himself or herself an intern or junior to go to HackConf? And can we give some kind of checklist for people that are not that social and outgoing among such a big crowd to actually get this benefits from the conference for their career.
Okay.
And not miss the fun.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we're trying to have different types of lectures, both for seniors and juniors and people that are just entering the programming world.
Yep.
So there must be some lectures that are going to be interesting for juniors and for interns. And if you're looking for place to work in a company, that means that all of our sponsors are basically there. You just have to visit their booths and say, hey, tell me about your internships and how can I connect your HR people and start working in your company. So it seems like something pretty easy to get when you're junior intern level.
Yeah, but if you don't feel that confident about yourself going to a company, if you consider yourself, how to say, not worthy to go to a company that's, for example, a big name, and say, I'm looking for a job, and because you know you won't pass, for example, the interview, not that you won't pass the interview, but because you don't feel good about yourself yet. I think it can be pretty scary experience. So there are 2 points of view. You can go and listen to the talks. So for sure there are going to be talks that will cover a lot of things that juniors need to listen. Interns and juniors, they need to listen. And there are going to be talks that are like more advanced, and this is also something good to listen because you hear things and you see things that are eventually going to be part of your job at some point. So it's a good idea to have a heads up what's coming, what's out there, how people with more experience are behaving and talking. And actually, if you watch people with more experience, you'll see something really interesting about them. It's like they're really, how to say, loose. They're not tense. They're joking around, laughing around, not caring very much what's happening. And actually, this is a really good way to enjoy HackConf, because if you go there with the idea I should find a job and this is the only thing that you're thinking about, it may end up not that good for you. But if you go there and actually meet with random people, which it's a hard thing to do just that, but if you do this, if you talk with companies and you're like, I'm a first year student, second year student, I've taken those courses, what do you do, are we a match? Just ask more questions, more direct questions, because if you're, for example, interested in Python, there's almost no use to go to a Java company, but you can go and say, hey, I'm a Python developer and you're a Java company, so let's just talk, tell me what you're looking for when you're interviewing people. Do you want to do an interview with me? I would ask this question at HackConf. Do you want to go somewhere and actually conduct a 30-minute interview so you can gain free experience, because people who do a lot of interviews usually love doing interviews. They love asking questions. So it's a checklist. Try to be as social as possible and talking with other people and actually following them up, making new friends, adding people on Facebook, following them up after this. And perhaps if you miss a lecture or two, it's not that bad because there's a live stream, there are going to be videos after the conference, but it's a checklist.
Meet people, talk more with people.
Be more direct with questions when you're talking with companies. Say what you know, what you're looking for, or if you don't know what you're looking for, ask them to ask you questions, because people from HR people are really good at this, and they will feel you. And just more direct questions, more meeting random people, and things will go on. Get a company. I think one of the best things you can do at HackConf is grab several friends and go as a group, because when you are in a group, social interaction is way easier, and then you can go as a group to companies and as a group to other groups, and you're going to feel better and you're going to socialize more. So this is the first thing I'll do. Get a group, 3 to 5 people.
That makes sense.
There are discounts for groups. That's not related, but there are. So yeah, Tony?
I think that we could summarize all these points in one blog article for the next week. Maybe would be useful.
That's a great idea. We're going to actually, Dimitar, yep, thank you for the question. We're going to actually summarize some of the points that we're talking in a blog article and release it so it can be helpful for someone else. And I think those are the questions for HackConf.
I think that we had one from Dimo Uzunov maybe.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Dimo Uzunov asks, are the topics and presentations in HackConf suitable for interns/juniors only, or will they also be interesting for seniors and managers?
For both of them, of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
For everyone. There's going to be something for everyone, and actually, you can, even if you are a senior or manager, I think you can find interesting stuff in the talks that are more junior oriented. So, yeah, talks are pretty good. Don't worry about them. Just come and see for yourself. And it's better to come in a group.
For sure. I think the last year's HackConf, we made a video at the opening of HackConf, and this was one of the main ideas there, that there is going to be a lecture for everyone.
Yep.
So I think we still came on this idea and support it. So there are going to be lectures for particularly everyone.
Yep. All right, I think those were the questions for HackConf. Tony,
Yeah, thank you guys.
thank you for
Have
being
fun.
with us for a second time.
See you at HackConf this year.
Yeah, come at HackConf. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of people, interesting lectures, workshops. We've announced the workshop. We've announced the agenda. Everything's out there. So all you need to do is grab a ticket.
Or two.
Or if you manage to, for example, DM us somewhere in the social media and convince us why you need to come to HackConf, we may give you a pretty nice discount for the tickets.
Yep.
Right. Bye.
Bye.
And we're going to be back.
And we're back. I don't know why we're doing this. But yeah.
Yeah, we're back. We had a small technical issue.
But now it's fixed.
Not technical actually, but yeah, it's fixed.
Let's get with the questions.
What was the name of this? Soundproof thing.
Acoustic
panels.
panels. Acoustic panels.
Yeah. One of the acoustic panels fell.
But we fixed
it. Yeah. So, carrying on with the questions. Next question is from Mikhail Petrov. Actually, Mikhail Petrov asked a lot of questions, so the next several questions are going to be from him.
Okay.
First question, do you consider HackSoft a startup? This question is a segue to talk around internships or employment in a small company, startup, versus employment in a behemoth company. What are the hard and soft skills one will develop, and how are those different? This is the first question.
Okay, do we consider HackSoft as a startup? Right. So, what is startup? Startup is a company that was found in the near past. So, pretty new company. Is HackSoft a new company?
Not sure. I think startup's pretty, like, you can define startup in a lot of ways. So, if you say startup, like the spirit inside the company and how do you feel working in a company, yes, we feel like a startup because we're a small company, we're very close together, the entire team, and it's like more easygoing here when you work here, yeah. But if you define startup as something that builds a product that needs to be really scalable and sell a lot and grow a lot, so we're not a startup. We're a software company, and our main job is to write software. This is what we love, and this is what we do. We actually work with a lot of startups, but we're the software teams for a lot of startups making their products happen. So we're a software company. We're not a typical startup. And this is pretty good because as a software company, we're a business that's it's going to survive only if it's operating well. It's providing good value with the software that we're writing, and we're actually making money. So I guess if we're making money, we're not a startup.
Okay, so most people connect startups with exponential growth.
Yeah.
Do we grow exponentially?
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, we don't. We don't sell products. If you want to grow exponentially as a software company, you have to become one of those big IT solutions companies where thousands of people work there and nobody know each other.
Mm-hmm.
We're more like a small company. I don't like the term boutique, but
Yeah.
we're small. We're software developers, and we're pretty good software developers. We're inadequate software developers because there are quite a lot of inadequate software developers, and that's what we're providing. We're providing software development, and if you're a company that needs a team and you don't want to manage the team and you don't want to hire the team because you don't have the time or you don't have the resources, we're going to build your product and support it and release it and carry on with it, and we're going to work just as if we were your software team. So
Yes.
this is what we do.
But if you upload some images of the Hack Studio right now, you will definitely say that we are a startup.
Yeah, it feels like this. It feels like this. It's quite hacky. We're doing things as we go. We're doing things that we've thought about them yesterday. For example, HackConf. So yeah,
And HackCast.
HackCast. Yeah. So pretty much yeah. And the segue was, what about working in a small company versus what about working in a big company?
Well. That's a big question. So most people think that working in a small company means the small company is going to bring more responsibilities for you. You're going to do more things because the company is small and and the company doesn't have people for everything.
Yeah.
And on the other side, the big company is going to be, you're working on your thing and no one else is working on your thing. It's like more chill in a big company sometimes.
Perhaps.
Yes, but I think it all depends on the company culture.
Yeah, and it all depends on the type of person that you are.
Yeah.
If you like a more, how to say, calm place that it's not that the pace is not that fast, then totally big companies. This is my experience. I did an internship at VMware at some point. I don't remember when, and this was the general feeling. Things were okay. We're moving at a pretty slow pace, and this was it. While at a small company like ours, you're going to ship a lot of code early in your deployment, and you're going to have more responsibilities. You're going to be part of the product of the team that you're building, which is not for everyone. It's pretty important to say it's not for everyone.
Yep.
I think you have to check small, you have to check big, and make the call for yourself. So,
and of course, you can't say that all the big companies are the same and all the small companies are the same.
Of course.
There are a lot of big companies where there's a lot of work, and the speed of developing is really fast.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of small companies, for example, that everything is slow and everything is,
Yeah, so if you want your work to, matter and to see your fruits more quickly and to gain more responsibility, which I think means grow faster and learn more things faster, then I guess small companies for you.
Yeah. Or big company that values these things.
Yeah, or big company that values these things. So it really depends because, as you said, there are big companies where you're going to work in a small team, which feels like
it's kind of okay.
Totally separate company.
Yeah.
So, it varies. You should try both. All right, next question from Mikhail Petrov. Imagine the following situation. All right, this is going to be a big one. You're someone who has started her software development path just 10 months ago. Okay. It is now end of summer and you have a week off. You have decided you will spend a week developing your geeky software dev mindset. All right, given an option, what would you choose from the following set? Oh, this is like a test.
Oh.
First, attending a hackathon. Second, review some open source project you might contribute. Lately, you've been hearing this is a cool thing to do to promote your skills. Number 3, attend a software development conference. And number 4, watch an online course. You have to pick one and you have a week off.
Okay, so going on a conference and going on a hackathon is not something that you can spend the whole week on.
Yep.
It depends on the conference and the hackathon, of course.
Yep.
But most of them are like 1 or 2 days.
Yep.
So it would be pretty nice if you can combine some of
Yep.
these options.
Yep.
But if I have to choose one, maybe I would start some open source project to contribute.
Yep.
And go on a hackathon, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe contributing to the open source project in a hackathon would be
Yeah.
a nice idea.
Yeah. So if you have a week and you have 4 options, you should do the 4 options. This is like a hackathon is 2 days, conference is 2 days. You can do open source during the day or during the evenings, and you can watch online course again while you're not at the hackathon or the conference or contributing. There's plenty of time in a week that you can do all of the 4 things. So don't pick one, pick everything and just go with the flow. You'll see, for example, if an online course is not interesting, you can drop it.
Yep.
If the open source project is interesting and you want to do more, you're going to do more. If the hackathon is not that good, you can drop it. If the conference is not that good, you can drop it. So don't pick one, pick all of them.
Yeah.
This is my suggestion. And following Mikhail Petrov, attending hackathons. How embarrassed should I be if it is my first hackathon? What is the level of knowledge expected? What if I am not great in my software development skills? What if I do not know any other devs? How should I find team? Personal note. As someone who had his first hackathon in Hack Bulgaria, I would say this was groundbreaking for my self-esteem and my employment. So, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that sounds like a compliment. Yeah.
This hackathon in Hack Bulgaria means hackathon in one of the courses that we organize.
Yes.
We usually end with a week-long hackathon. So, attending a hackathon, how embarrassed should I be if it is my first hackathon?
I don't think that when you go to a hackathon for the first time, you have to bet a lot on your skills. You just have to go there and have a great time.
Yeah.
Not have pretty big
Expectations?
expectations. Yeah, expectations is the word here. Because you might end up disappointed if you don't, for example, win something. So yeah, the idea of the hackathon is just go there and have a great time with your friends, your mates, made some new friends there, and give out the best you can in order to make something.
Yeah, so how embarrassed should you feel? Not at all.
Yep.
It's because this is a hackathon. People do crazy stuff for 3 days just to have something presented at the end. There's like, you can build something even if you're not a programmer and present and to win. Yeah, the idea of the hackathon is to literally try new things, meet new people and see how much you can push yourself in order to build something that's crappy on the inside but looks good on the outside. Or sometimes it's crappy on the outside too, but it was fun doing it. So yeah, you should not feel embarrassed at all. This is the idea of the hackathon. You should go there even without no skills and do something. This is a hackathon. You have to hack something together, even if you don't have skills, programming skills. Finding a team, same thing as going to a conference looking for a job. You should go through all teams, ask a few quick questions. What are you doing? Who is the leader, perhaps, the team lead, the person who's going to make the calls most of the times. And you should say, those are my skills, they're not pretty good. Do you want someone like me? I can help with something. You should be ready to help with whatever there's need for example, writing texts, inviting people on Facebook for something, bringing coffee, whatever it is. If you are helpful, it's going to be great for the team. So go to the team, ask, and you're going to feel if there is a team with some people that are going to mentor and coach you, that they're going to feel really good if they have someone not that experienced on their team because they can mentor them and because they can coach them. So,
and the other approach, of course, if you have an idea but you don't really know how to make it, you can always ask someone at the event, hey, I have this idea, how to make it, and you can always form your own team.
Yeah, but perhaps for first time hackathon experience, I would not recommend forming your own team because it's weird. You need to have at least some experience there. But joining a team without an experience, this is why there are hackathons.
Yep.
So just do it. Yep, that's the question. Next one from Mikhail Petrov. Should I be worried if I'm not great at math but still find it interesting to do software development? Can S.O be a developer if she is not keen on... Can someone be a developer if she is not keen on math, physics, mechanics, etc.? I don't know many software developers that are keen on physics and mechanics. Actually,
Yes. I was trying to think of someone, but
yeah, there are few people that
Yep.
I know, but not that many.
I know a lot of people that are not even geeky. I mean, they
Yeah,
don't
you
even-
don't have to be geek.
Yeah. And they are working developers and they feel happy about it. So
Yeah, you don't have to be geek to be a software developer.
Yep.
You don't have to be geek. You can be... This normal sounds straight. You can be not geek.
yes, you can be keen on the technology.
Yeah.
Keen on the whole computer science thing.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be like someone who is playing World of Warcraft like for 4 years.
Yeah, or played computer games before. You don't have to fit the classical stereotype to be a programmer because this classical stereotype is old.
Yep.
It's not like that anymore. And about mathematics, so it's totally okay to not know mathematics and be a programmer. Perhaps it's not okay to deny math,
Yeah.
to be in active denial that this is something that you don't need. This is the bad thing. This is what people usually do, and it's not their fault. It's usually the way they learn math in school. They kind of don't like it at all. They kind of think it's just problems to be solved. Some problems that they don't know why they're solving it. So it's totally okay not to be good at maths.
Mhm.
So, for example, I was at an exam last week for New Bulgarian University, which, by the way, I'm a student again. Yes. And I had to multiply and divide 2-digit numbers on a sheet of paper with a pen. And believe me, this was really hard for me. I had to remember how multiplying works because if I want to multiply something, I fire up the Python repo and I just multiply or divide. It was really hard, and I felt like I studied in a math high school. I studied 7 years in the Faculty of Mathematics and Informatics, and I cannot multiply 2-digit numbers, but it's okay. If you find math interesting, and you should try finding math interesting, there are a ton of good materials online. You can start with Khan Academy, for example, and just pick random videos because the explanation is pretty good. This is something that you should do, but you don't need to be good at math to be a good software developer. Just don't deny math. This is the bad thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So, let's go. Am I going to unlock? Oh, alright, yeah. Next question from Mikhail Petrov. Alright. A starter needs to find a good course in Bulgaria in software development. What are the aspects one should think of when assessing the various offerings for an offline course?
Okay.
Oh, this was...
Offline courses.
So what should you look for when you're picking offline courses, for example, in Sofia, Bulgaria? You want to go to an offline course?
Is it your first course that you're
Yeah, let's say it's your first. Let's say it's your first course.
Okay, it's your first course. So. Personally, I don't think that starting with online courses is
Offline.
Yes, with offline courses offline courses. Okay. What kind of offline courses do we have here?
Programming. Yeah, you have Telerik.
Yeah, Telerik Academy,
Softuni,
and a bunch of other smaller academies that are not so popular right now.
So if you're just starting and have a literary, I can't say this word, no programming experience whatsoever, you should just flip a coin and pick one of the big ones. So because they have a streamlined program for beginners.
Yep.
good materials for beginners, and you're going to be amongst other people who are just like you learning. This is really important to be with people who are on the same level with you and want to learn, because this will help you. If you have experience and you want to kind of make this experience and better prepare for a job and fill the gaps that you have, combining, for example, you're going to university, then there are specialized courses. For example, we do specialized courses in, for example, Python, that's going to prepare you for your first job, covering a lot of topics really. Yeah. There are courses for QA. If you want to start with QA, for example, there are specialized courses for QA. If you're learning framework, for example, React or Angular, there are specialized courses for this. And when you're evaluating more advanced courses that are not for total beginners, then one of the most important things is to see who's going to be a teacher and get some information on the teacher and actually watch some materials of this teacher speaking, or ask people if they know the teacher or the teacher team, because most of the courses they're like structured the same, but it all depends on the person or the team who's going to deliver the course. So
yeah, so you can check, for example, if this course is a regular course, you can check last year editions, the materials, the whole program, you can check it out. So on most of the courses this is public. Yeah.
And you can check the organization that's doing the course, because, for example, if we're doing a course, we're doing the course because we want to do the course and it's interesting to us, and we're going to translate this curiosity that we have and this passion that we have, we're going to do it in the course. And that's why we don't have a regular schedule. People often ask us, when are we going to do the next Python? And we're like, we don't know, we'll see next year at some point. So this for me is the best, to go somewhere where someone is doing a course that they want to do because the topic is interesting to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's kind of important.
All right, next question. Perhaps this is the last question from Mikhail Petrov. Thank you, Mikhail. The questions were really good, and we answered them all. Hope the answers are good for you. You're going to say to us after this. So, last question. How do you make a conference entity to provide you with 4 speakers spots?
How do you make a conference entity to provide you with 4 speakers spots? How did we make a conference to provide us spots for speakers? We just apply for the spots.
Are you talking about your Python?
Yeah.
Because 4 people from HackConf went.
Yeah.
Well, we applied and they picked us.
Yes.
Yeah. There is a voting system, and of course we voted for each other, cross-voted everyone for everyone. So this helped a lot. So you should have friends.
Yeah. And
that are going to the conference. You need to have a ticket. Yeah.
And you should invest some time in preparing your topic and the whole proposing material that you send them.
Yeah, that is like, don't send the first thing that you write as a conference proposal. Iterate a few times, give it to someone else to read it, to give you some feedback.
And don't submit in the last possible moment.
Although you're going to do it, so. We all do it.
But I think it's not the best practice. So often the proposing system go down on the last possible moment. So it's kind of a pain.
Yeah. So I understand the question as what you need to do in order to make some conference give you 4 speaker spots, and my initial answer was organize a conference and then you can have all the speakers to be your people. Just organize a conference.
Yeah.
Then you can do whatever you want. All right, carrying on or going forward. I don't know the right phrase for this. Continuing, yeah. Victor Barzin. I'm going to pronounce the names in Bulgarian. Okay. Victor Barzin asks, Vim or Emacs? Emacs.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. Use whatever's comfortable for you, and don't pay attention to all the religious zealots that are saying Vim is the best or Emacs is the best. It doesn't really matter.
Yep.
You can use whatever editor you want as long as you're comfortable with it, productive with it, and spend some time making it more, how to say, useful, learning the shortcuts, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. All right, carrying in. Continuing. Borisov Bohusyan. I will be happy if you talk about 1. The right questions to ask at the interview if you are the trainee, and 2, what are the pros and cons of the bigger and smaller companies? So 2, we already answered this. We're not going to answer this right now. 1, the right questions to ask at the interview if you are the person who's being interviewed.
Okay, so do you ask questions at all while you're being interviewed?
You should ask.
Yeah, for sure, you should ask. So I think that the most important thing when you go to an interview is to check what is the company culture, what are the company values, and to cross-check them with your personal values. So for example, some companies values working hard, some companies doesn't really values working hard. Some companies values freedom of the employees, some company doesn't value. And you just have to cross-check your values with the company values to see if this company is going to fit you. And this is a little hard to understand it in the first interview. You may have to spend a couple of months working there in order to see if this is the right company. But you can directly ask them, hey, what is your mission and vision and your values in order to check. Yeah.
If I'm going to an interview, I would ask what was the last really tough problem that the team solved. What went when they, for example, deployed to production on Friday? What went wrong and how they managed to solve it? I would ask things that are happening on daily basis in the company because I want to get a feel for the company, and I guess for me this is the interesting thing. I want to cut the interviewing bullshit and just see the people as they are. I want them to be more open and talk more openly what's happening at the company. So yeah, I would ask questions like this.
Yep.
You should ask for a salary.
Of course.
Because you'll find out your salary when you sign your contract.
I don't know.
It may be too late.
Yeah.
No, the companies are making offers and you have to accept the offer. So you should ask for a salary. All right. Next question. We answered this. Kirionikov asks, how to prepare for internship interview, how to stand out at the interview so we have a better chance to be chosen for the position. Right?
It depends a lot on the company that you're aiming for, but most of the companies ask standard computer science questions about algorithms, data structures, object-oriented programming, all the basic stuff.
Yeah.
So just get prepared there. And the other really important thing to the company is you as a person. Yeah. So just don't lie, answer.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. You can't really prepare a lot for first job,
For the interview.
Yeah, for the interview.
So on the technical side of things, to implement the stupid linked list, because everyone's asking about this, just stop doing it. And on the other side of things, just be yourself.
Yep.
Talk more about yourself, about your interests, about what you're doing, because this way the other side, they're going to know you better. So just be yourself, talk more about yourself, ask them questions, just make it a friendly conversation, and learn how to implement linked lists.
Yeah, and I think it's a good idea to spend some time working on something so we can show it there. For example, hey, I have a hobby project. Here it is. It is in Python, and I'm for a Python position, so you can check it out. It doesn't really make sense because it's not a finished product, but it's something. And it shows that you are acting and you like what you're doing. Yeah.
You have to say what you've done so far, went to conferences, did hobby projects, went to hackathons, have pet projects, have interests, have those elective courses, extra courses in the university. You have to give a lot of how to say points if you don't have previous experience for the other side to know that you're onto something, for you to stand out. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Companies like proactive people. So if you have some activities, just
that's it. Companies like proactive people. Good. Next. We answered this. Whoa. So Desisłava Nikova asks, for what position is good to apply if you want to design and build websites? Parentheses. I have heard that there are web developer, front end, back end, full stack. Is it a problem if the trainee has a degree in different field and only finished online courses without any certificates?
I don't think it's a problem.
No, not at all.
The only thing that matters is experience and skill.
Yeah.
So
the question is, for what position is good to apply if you want to design and build websites? So
web developer,
web designer, perhaps. If you want to design and build websites and you want to do the front end part, which is the pure HTML and CSS styling and the look and feel and perhaps the UX and perhaps the what was it called for the mobile devices? The responsive
something?
design and the responsive HTML and CSS. There are positions called web developers or website developers or website designers. There are plenty of positions like this, and if you are really good, you're going to be like one of the most wanted people in the industry, because this is not easy. It may sound easy doing HTML, CSS, and oftentimes programmers look down on this and they laugh at this, but the truth is they cannot do it.
That's true.
They cannot do it. Yeah, and this is it's a skill. It's not an easy skill to learn, and it's a valuable skill to have. So first of all, you just don't care what's your background. Just don't care if you have any certificates. The only thing that you should care about is to have a portfolio. Those are the things that I did, and I'm pretty good at this. And you have to show passion and desire to work. This is how you're going to win employers.
Yep.
But start freelancing. You can freelance from tonight, from tomorrow. Just register somewhere and start freelancing. Build sites in your free time. Make sure to, perhaps find some people that are doing this and train yourself. But this is a great skill, a valuable skill, so carry on. It's a really good skill. All right, we're almost done. Almost done, people. Yeah, well, I'm looking at the laptop again. All right, last question is from Radosław Bonev. I'm going to ask it. You can start answering, and I will scroll again just to double check if I'm not missing anything.
Okay.
So, Radosław Bonev asks, what is the difference between an intern, junior, mid-level, and a senior developer? What skills does each level of seniority employ? How can you determine for which level do you belong?
Okay, so I think that it pretty much depends on the company. So for some companies, the mid-level developers are people with 1 or 2 years of experience. On some other companies, mid-level developers is more than 5 years of experience. So it pretty much depends on the company. So don't get sad if you say, hey, I'm a mid-level, and your friend that is have less experience than you say, hey, in some other company I'm a senior.
Yeah.
So it basically doesn't matter at all what's your title. It depends. It's the thing that matters is how many years of experience you have.
Yeah. How many valuable years of experience you have.
Years. Yeah, it's important.
Because the title is something that a company defines. There's like a standard, but the standard is also not that standard. There's like
is there a standard?
Well, if you Google around, you're going to see a list of skills that define you as a junior, that define you as a senior, but this is defined by a company. It should not matter that much. to me. It's stupid to just go, I'm a senior developer, and
Yeah.
you're not a senior developer because you don't have that much experience and you haven't. No, I'll be careful what I say. And you haven't failed that many times in that many product environments and scenarios. So years of valuable experience is the only thing that matters, and valuable experience means you enjoy what you're doing, you're constantly pushing forward, and you're constantly trying to get better, and you're constantly trying to get better at the software part of things, and constantly trying to get better at the human part of things, because this is also included there. And interns, this is easy to define. You have no previous experience.
Yep.
After this, just count by two years in, you're a junior, 4 years in, you're a mid, 6 years in, you're a senior, 8+ years, you're a senior, extreme senior, super senior, whatever, however you want
Mega
to
senior.
call yourself. Yeah, mega senior. But again, there's deviation. Different people tend to develop at different speed, but this doesn't really matter. Titles should not matter. Titles are there for companies to manage the people, how to say, easier.
Yeah.
In a big company, it's good to have the ladder, the corporate ladder, and it's good to have a name for each step, hence the titles. So this is what titles are for. They're really, how to say, really few titles that actually mean something, and those titles, they go with the responsibility that you take, and there are the senior positions and the C-level positions.
Yep.
And everything else is a construct of the company.
That is why in the job offers there is a list of required skills.
Yeah.
For example, we are searching for senior Python developer, but that doesn't mean anything. So here is a list of all the required skills that this senior Python developer must have.
Yeah, so when a company is looking for a senior Python developer, this means this Python developer is going to carry some responsibility, perhaps inherit a project from previous senior Python developer, perhaps work directly with the client or lead a team. This is what implies the senior. This is what the senior Python developer implies when a company is making a job description. And for example, junior Python developer with the same skills, for example, required, means that you're going to join a team where there's a senior, but they need more workforce because there's more work to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about. And junior means they're okay with someone mentoring you, you making mistakes, and so on. Mid-level means you have to be okay on your own, but you won't be the lead, the person making calls in a team. It is basically, this is it. And
yeah, yes. But again, in some companies, decisions are made by the mid-level people.
of course, I'm just how to say, thinking if I'm a standard company here in Sofia and making a job offer, I have something in mind when I'm posting this job offer, and
Yeah.
those are the things that I have in mind when I'm changing different titles in the job offer. Right, so I'm just going to scroll again.
Do we have these titles here in HackConf?
No,
No titles?
we have interns
Yeah, and no interns.
and software developers, which
Yeah.
usually there's a team lead in a team and software developers, and it's working pretty good so far. The team lead is not making all the calls. Most of the calls are also made by the software developers, and it's working pretty good. It's an agile structure, which we're going to talk about this in a different HackCast,
Okay.
because it's an interesting approach that we take here at HackConf. So we answered this, we answered this, we answered this, we answered this. Yep. Oh, we're good.
Done? All the questions are done?
Number 4 done. I think we're 40 minutes over.
For sure.
There's no timer there.
Okay.
So, HackCast number 4 is done. We answered the question. It was really interesting. We're going to make more of those where we answer questions that you're interested about, because We give our point of view, the HackConf point of view. So if you find this interesting, ask us more questions, and we're going to answer them gladly. We enjoy doing this.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, there's 18 questions answered. And don't forget, HackConf is coming. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. It's going to be valuable to you, no matter if you consider yourself intern, senior, junior, or whatever. Grab a couple of friends. We have great discounts. If you manage to DM us, we can give you even greater discounts. And perhaps we're going to see each other on HackConf.
Yep.
In 10 days. So bye and thank you. And I'm going to
See you
stop
next
the
time.
stream.